to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I am just coming on to have a quick little chat about the coming year and what to expect now that we are in 2022 for this YouTube channel, for the projects I'm working on, all of that kind of stuff. So let's begin by saying a big, warm welcome to 2022. I'm so glad this year has finally arrived, and I'm so excited to share all of the plans I have for my crafty adventures this year. So let's start by talking about the projects that I am planning to participate in for the current year, so for 2022. First and foremost, every year I do an annual project called Project Life, where I document 1 week at a time inside of a pocket page album. This year, I am continuing to do this project, so I will be continuing the Project Life album for 2022, and I am still going to be working inside of a 9x12. I really enjoyed working in that size last year, and it just seems like the right thing to do for this year as well. I'm also going to keep documenting weekly rather than monthly. I feel like I always have a lot of stories to tell, so it just works better for me to have it once a week, every week, to work on that project. Now, you may be wondering about my 2021 Project Life album. It is not finished. In fact, it is about a little over halfway finished, and that is also on my docket for this year to complete that album as well. And we'll get into a little bit later how I'm planning to do that. Story Kit Crush is another series that I do here on YouTube and over on Instagram, and that is another project that I'm going to continue in the coming year, but I'm actually going to increase my Story Kit Crush a little bit more this year than the last. So in the beginning of the Story Kit Crush project, which is essentially to take one Ali Edwards story kit every month and crush, or AKA use up, the entire kit throughout the course of the month. So when I first started this project with my friend Tashi, we were working through older kits. And what I found in doing that is that I wasn't actually using any of the new products that were coming in. Those were going into my stash, which I would then get to a year or two later, and that didn't really feel good. So then last year I switched it up, and instead of crushing old kits, I was crushing the new ones. So a new one would come in, and then a couple months later, I would crush that kit. What I found then is that I was working through my new product really great, but all of those old products and kits that I have in my stash remained in my stash. So this year, I have made the decision to crush 2 kits every month. And one is going to be the new kits that are coming out, and one is going to be an old kit from my stash. So that's going to be a lot of the content that you're going to see here on YouTube, and a very large portion of what I'm going to be making this year. So I'm so excited to just dive in and tell all kinds of different stories this year using those kits. A few other projects that I'm planning to do this year that are not necessarily annual, year-long projects, but have a more specified time frame. Well, I guess all except one. I have one more annual project, and that is One Little Word, which I will be participating in this year for the 4th year. I've chosen the word play, and I'm actually going to be an instructor, a returning instructor to the classroom this year. So my One Little Word content will be pretty much exclusively over there. Inside of that classroom, I may share a few things here or there on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram account, but for the most part, that content is going to be inside of the One Little Word 2022 classroom. For my non-annual year-long projects, I am planning to work on the the Week in the Life album. So last year for 2021, I documented, or I wrote down notes for the week of Week in the Life, or a week that I chose to do Week in the Life. And I took all the photos, but I never actually did the album. So this year I'm going to repeat what I did in 2020, and that is to complete that album either in March or April for last year. And then typically the Week in the Life week happens in May. So I'm hoping to finish my old project before the new one. And then when the new one happens, I will either do the same thing, just take notes and do the journaling and take photos and then put it together later, or I will attempt to put it together during the month of May. We'll see where life is at that point in time. But I am going to do the Week in the Life album. It's one of my favorite projects because it's such a good representation of what life is like each year at that time. It's a great way of seeing growth and a great way of seeing things that maybe haven't changed, and those things are valid and great and good too. So Week in the Life. I will also be working on an October daily album in the October season, and more information will be available as we get closer to that month. So I typically prep in September and then put it together in October. I have some ideas for things I want to change up this coming year, but I'm sitting on that for a little while. So I will update you more about October Daily as we get closer to the fall season. And then I will also be working on a December Daily album this year as well. Again, more information will come out about that as we get closer to December of this year. Now, some questions that you might have are potentially about my October and my December albums from 2021. Both of those albums are actually completed. They are totally finished and done. But here on YouTube, I don't have all of my process videos posted. So part of that is just because the holiday seasons just turn real crazy and it's hard to get all that content out. And part of it is because I actually completed those pages live over on my Patreon. So right now, anybody who is part of my Patreon group, which I'll get to that in a little bit, has access to see all of the process videos and everything for both the October album and the December album. My plan for sharing on YouTube is for both albums to have up to roughly day 15. That means I'm going to have a couple more. I think I have 14 and 15 left for December Daily. So I'll have those come up and I will do a flip through of volume 1 because volume 1 is story 1 through 15. And then the rest of the layouts, I'm going to post those videos the month before the project begins this year. So I will post month or two. So I will post my December Daily days 16 through 31 on in November-ish of this year. And that way you're going to be a little bit more interested in seeing those videos at this time. I feel like we're kind of over December right now and ready to just move on with the new year. So then by November, you might be looking for some inspiration on prepping pages for December. So I figure that's a really good time to share the remaining process videos and the second flip through for volume 2 of December Daily. Similarly, I'm going to do the same thing with October, and I'll share my remaining pages and process videos and flip throughs in the month of September to help get you ready and excited for the project in October. I hope that makes sense to structure it that way. So for now, you basically are able to see half of the albums that I completed. So those are those two projects. We've got the October Daily and the December Daily. Something that I want to try new this year, a new project, which won't take place until the summer, and I'm thinking it'll probably be July when I do this project, is to do a summer daily. So in our family, I have young kids that go to school most of the year, and then in the summer, they're going to have their summer break, and we're going to try to fill our time with adventures and just things that'll make their summer extra exciting this year, and just, things to help bring our family closer together. I typically in the daily projects, I have everything pre-planned before the month happens. And I've always wanted to try a project where that's not the case, where it's, making a page based on what happened in that day so that it's a really true representation of a month of our life. So for me, I thought that it would be perfect to do this in the summer when it's not this really big project that everybody participates in and is looking for inspiration, and there's not pressure applied to it. It's just a project I want to do for myself. I'm planning to use the One Little Word folio from this year, the rainbow colored one, and to create in 2 of the stitched blank page notebooks. I feel like they're roughly a 6x8 page. And I thought that that would also be a really great, just kind of easy way to document our month, is to use a traveler's notebook type of book. Plus, I just like to use notebooks for my projects. And so that gives me an opportunity to use it for a bigger project, which makes me feel pretty excited. So that's something to look forward to in the summer months. I will have more information come out about it as we get closer to July, so that you can know exactly what it is that I'm doing and see maybe it's something you want to give a try to this year as well. The summer is just as exciting as the holiday season, in my opinion, and what a great time in our life to document. What else? Travel albums. So I haven't made a lot of travel albums lately, but I do have a whole bunch of them waiting in the wings for me to finish and put together. So you will likely see some of those projects crop up throughout the course of the year. I don't have a specific plan for what month I'm going to be doing what project, and I don't really have all of the details figured out, but I do know that I have a handful of albums that I would like to finish based on some travel that we have done either last year or in years prior to that. So hopefully I can get some of that content out for you. So that brings me to my plan for this YouTube. For YouTube this year, my plan right now, and what will stick for the course of the year, except probably the holidays when things will get a little bit different. But my plan is to post videos every Monday and Friday that are pre-recorded. So Monday's video will be the Story Kit Crush video for an older story kit. In January, I'm going to be crushing the Pieces story kit. And then I have a whole plan for the year ahead. I will post a graphic on that on Instagram. So if you are curious to know, what kits am I using this year, you'll be able to find that there. So Mondays are going to be an old kit. Fridays are going to be a new kit. So I'm going to start with the kit Glow in January, and I'm going to follow the schedule of Ali Edwards after that. So it's Glow, and then Delight, and then Begin, and then whatever comes after that. So we're just going to go in the order of Ali's releases. The old kits are not really in any particular order. They're just based on what I have that I need to use up in my stash. So that's going to be your Monday video and your Friday video. I will still be putting together the planning videos for both of those kits. And I plan to have those come out either on or before the first process video you see. This could mean they come out on a Saturday or Sunday. There's not going to be any, specific date. I'm going to try to do it for the first, most likely. But just in case it doesn't happen for the first, it will happen on or before the first process video for that kit. That way you can see all of the ideas I have for how to use those kits, the sketches, the stories, and then you'll be able to get excited for what's to come, or maybe it'll help spark ideas for you and what you can tell using the kit as well. So that's that. Then new this year on Wednesdays, I'm going to do a weekly live video at 1 p.m. Eastern time. The reason I chose to do a live during the daytime hours is because now that my kids are in school, that's the best time for me to come on here live. I don't have to pause and go take care of the kids. And then it also allows me to use my evening times to spend time with them. So it works better in the stage of life that my family is in right now. So Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern time, I will be going live, and my plan is to complete one Project Life layout for 2021 and one Project Life layout for 2022. So Wednesdays are Project Life days. Now, if I put those two layouts together and maybe I have some extra time left over, that will be where I can work on some of those special projects, the travel albums, the some of the daily stuff, perhaps, probably not the daily stuff, actually, now that I think of it. But if I have any extra Story Kit Crush stories that I can work on, I have a whole backlog of projects that I have planned and printed photos for and journaling for, but I've not actually put them together. So it gives me an opportunity to work on that kind of stuff if I have extra time left over. And once I have completed my 2021 project life, because I don't have all 52 weeks to do, I think I only have like 24 maybe. So once that album is complete, then Wednesdays will be the current week for 2022 project life, and then extra projects that I have lying around. So it's just going to be a time to come and hang out and chat about crafting. If you're home at the same time as me, maybe you want to work on a project too, or maybe it's your lunch break and you just want to hang out with someone while you eat your lunch, or whatever it is. It's just a fun way to connect and communicate and form a community here on YouTube. I'm really excited to come on here live again with all of you. I've missed you all very, very much. So that is my plan for YouTube, are the Monday recorded, Wednesday live, and Friday recorded. So 3 videos each week. I may throw in some extra videos here and there, potentially maybe a travel album video, or maybe a planning video for like my everyday planner type of stuff, or all that kind of stuff. So you might see content in that way, or you might not, but I'm guaranteeing that you will at least get those 3 videos each week, unless life gets in the way, which it does, and then we got to give ourselves grace. So that's YouTube. So that brings me to Patreon. Patreon is a member group that is paid, where I provide exclusive videos and events and printables and all kinds of things to my members each month. So if you're someone who's looking for some extra inspiration, some more ways to connect, that could be a really good place for you. I always have my Patreon linked in the description of my video, so you can check it out there. And right now I have 2 separate tiers. One tier that includes mostly inspiration with extra process videos, ones that are exclusive to Patreon that you'll never see here on YouTube, and also a community building weekly podcast episode, although it is recorded over Zoom. So it's a recorded video conversation that also has an audio file, and it's a way for members to get to know each other. I interview one member every week, and we talk about things to do with crafting and just what's going on and all of that kind of stuff. So it's a really great way to get more inspiration and a little bit of that community. And then I have a second tier that includes more, so it's everything in tier 1, plus a monthly book club, a monthly Zoom event, a weekly coffee, crafts, and conversation type of, I call it our Mondays coffee hour, and a monthly digital package that includes layer templates and printables and all kinds of stuff. So it's a really fun way to engage more with the crafting community and to get more inspiration if that's something that you are looking for, if the 3 videos a week isn't enough for you. So I highly recommend checking that out and seeing if it's something that would pique your interest in this 2022 year. All right, friends, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to update you on, and I don't really know. I suppose design teams, you might have questions about design teams. I am just going to be on one design team this year, and that is the Allie Edwards design team. I feel really good about that because it's going to give me a lot more opportunity to create stuff for my Patreon group and for you guys, and really just for myself. So that feels really good. So I'll be on Allie Edwards' creative team this year, and I'm not looking to join any other ones. It's just going to be that one. And we'll see what the year brings, and what kind of responsibilities and whatnot will come from being on a team with Allie, and plus the One Little Word instructor class. So, there's lots of fun things in the works there. All right, friends, well, I think that's really it. I think that's all I've got for you today. If you have any questions about projects I'm working on, content, where to find it, if you have questions about Patreon, if you have questions about the lives or anything like that, please feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and I will be sure to get back to you on those as quickly as I can. I hope that you have a great, wonderful New Year's Day. Happy New Year's. Welcome to 2022, and let's make this year the best one yet. See you later, friends.